a beautiful song by Green Day and U2 for the victims of Hurricane Katrina. So let's have a look on the weather. Finally, we have a hot week. The temperature is getting warmer and warmer. Time to go out to a lake or to the park. It's time for fun. But I also want to remind you of the people who have to work. People who sit in a hot building or have to work on the field. Because the hot weather destroyed their harvest. And also we should think about the people who are fighting against the fires in the woods. Also caused by the hot weather. Hang on, people. So the weather has a good side and a bad side. And don't forget the bad side. Temperatures of 30 degrees Celsius and more may be great, but there are always risks when it's hot. The forests are more sensitive to fire. Then we have dearth, caused by the weather and also a lot of death. And it's not just the hot weather, which is dangerous. It's also the rainy and cold weather. Floods are one of the subsequent risks of extreme weather. Just think of the floods in Austria and Bavaria this week. The weather is getting more extreme, caused by the global warming, which is caused by humankind. We are the reasons for the global warming. Information from the beginning of the 20th century is showing that at this time extreme weather was an incident which came every 100 years. At this time there was a rainy period in London, which lasted about 58 hours. In June. Today we have such an extreme weather about every 20 years. The last period was in 2004. Fire in the forests of California, Greece, France, Alaska and so on. And Greece, they had a snowstorm as well, which is very unusual in this area. These are not just some information. It's happening right now. The climate is changing, and every single person can do a little bit to save the world. Our next song explains itself by its title. It's called Kyoto Now, and I think everybody knows what the meaning of this is. The group Bad Religion wants to show how important the agreement of Kyoto is, and that everybody needs to accept it. If some major states don't accept this agreement, it's useless. It's Bad Religion with Kyoto Now.
It's a matter of passions, no, not the science fiction kind. It's all about ignorance and greed and miracles for the blind. The media parading disjointed politics, founded on petrochemical plunder, and we're its hostages. If you stand to reason, you're in the game. The rules may be elusive, but our pieces are the same. And you know if one goes down, we all go down as well. The balance is precarious, as anyone can tell. This world's going to hell. Don't allow this mythological monster to exact its price. Kyoto now, we can't do nothing. I think someone else will make it right. Hand in hand, the errant torpor of inaction will be our demise. Oh, Kyoto now.
In 2004, Roland Emmerich produced a film called The Day After Tomorrow, which deals with some impacts of global warming and shows some natural catastrophes like floods, hurricanes and big chunks of hail. In regard to this, our reporters Linda and Michael invited two guests to review the film. Now we will switch to the University of Science in Moscow.
Thanks, Luisa. Today we've got two guests, Professor Dr. Giallo and Dr. Maas.
Hello, I'm Professor Dr. Giallo and a scientist from University in Moscow. For 4 years I focus on global warming.
Hi, my name is Dr. Mars. I watched the movie and made private scientific researches about global warming and the protection of our environment.
Roland Emmerich has produced this film in year 2004 that shows the sudden climate change because of the melting of polar cap. At the end of the film, humankind has to overcome a new ice age.
We have invited you because we want to find out whether the disasters shown in the film The Day After Tomorrow are completely fictional or if the film shows our future.
Do you think the film shows our future?
Well, I agree that the film shows the effects of global warming, but we have to make clear that The Day After Tomorrow is only a fictional disaster movie and not a documentary. It includes many fictional elements which are very unlikely to happen and also scientifically inexplicable.
What do you think, Dr. Mars?
I don't think in this way. If you ask me, I believe that the film shows the reality. We already know the film is from 2004, and when I compare it with the facts of today, I remark that the period between two natural disasters dramatically decreased.
Professor Dr. Giallo, you claim the movie isn't a documentary, but in fact it includes some realistic elements. Which aspects of the film have come true between 2004 and 2009?
There is no doubt that the temperature of the Gulf Stream decreased because the poles melted. As a result, this can lead to a new ice age. But on the other hand, we have to comprehend that a sudden and abrupt climate change is impossible and can't happen from one day to another.
Of course, that can't happen from one day to another, but the film should just show how essential it is to change the way of living. But I think that these effects will come earlier than most people think, because the poles melt faster and faster in a way nobody can think of. We all have to care because the worst thing of our history is coming.
As I saw the film, I asked myself whether the natural disasters, like many hurricanes, can develop at the same time in one place. Furthermore, what about the scene in Tokyo where you can see big chunks of hail which appears artificial?
Of course, there can be more than one hurricane at one place, but it's absolutely nonsensical that a sudden shutdown of the North Atlantic current leads to a new ice age. Or, as Emery shows it in the film, to a global superstorm. These are fictional elements which are taken to extremes. And to the same with the hail. I agree with you, Linda. Especially in this scene you see the special effects. But this doesn't mean that there can't be such a big hailstone.